Welcome to Fundraising Unfiltered, my love letter to nonprofit leaders who are done with sugar-coated advice and tired tactics that just don't work anymore. Hi, I'm Danielle Locke, your nonprofit success partner. I've raised tens of millions for organizations of all sizes, and now I help leaders like you fund your mission with confidence. We'll talk fundraising, staff drama, board issues, budget cuts, and even bullet holes. Yep, bullet holes. Because we've got real stories and smart solutions and a bunch of laugh out loud moments. All right, let's go. I'm going to start with, what is recurring giving? And does it have to be monthly? And what do you tell organizations?
Yeah, to me, recurring giving, you are asking a donor to make an ongoing investment in your nonprofit. You are asking them to basically join a club of like-minded people who believe in the same things that you do and want to see this mission sustain itself for the long term. Now, most of the time that is monthly. 95% of recurring gifts across the North America are monthly. You don't necessarily have to make it just monthly, but I think for purposes of your communications, your planning, your strategy, think monthly, emphasize monthly. There may be other options that if a donor wants that, that's okay. But monthly is the way to go. But it is basically a long-term investment in your mission. You're asking them to, hey, come on this journey with me. We want to be around for a long time. We're going to be working on this problem for a long time. It doesn't go away tomorrow. We need you with us long term. And a monthly gift is a conduit to that, to be on that journey with them.
That's awesome. That's a great way to describe it. Is there a typical amount that people give on a monthly basis?
I think so. On the donation pages that function on our platform, we have preset things, and we've had the same presets, I want to say, for 15 years, back in the days when I was just building custom donation forms. So we go 10, 25, 35, 50, and 100 per month. And I think that works really well. You know, typically on a donation form, you might have a tab for monthly, a tab for one time. And to me, one time kind of goes from 50 to 500 or 50 to 1,000 with levels in there. But on the monthly side, between 10 and 100 is reasonable. And it can align very well with the offers that you might put out to a donor. And I think coming in at $10 a month, or what we typically like is the default, or you really want to think about your offer around that 25 a month. Think about the commercials that you see, Wounded Warrior. They're all kind of in that 19 to 20, $25 a month. I think that's very typical and something that you should be thinking about and leading with, because that's something that donors are absolutely used to.
So on my podcast, I really want it to be about stories and solutions, right? That's my shtick is. And so I definitely want to get from you, give me some of the numbers around what monthly giving can do, what success you've seen with monthly giving and your clients.
Yes. Monthly giving is a big opportunity for a nonprofit to raise more money. And maybe that's counterintuitive to some nonprofits, but wait, I could get that $100 right now. Why would I want them to take that down to $10 or $20 a month? Because the gifts just stack up one on top of the other. And then these donors typically stick around. There's a lot of research, which I'm really glad and happy to see being put out right now on monthly giving across the industry. And on average, a typical monthly giver will stay with your organization for 8+ years, compared to a one-time giver, which is typically dropping off, maybe after a couple gifts. After 2 years is typically when they're dropping off. So, on our platform, the average monthly giver gives about $650 per year. So if you do the math on that, if they stay for 8 years, that's $5,200. For a small nonprofit, a $5,200 value of a donor, that's a major gift. Even if it comes to you in really small kind of manageable amounts. And then long term, you are creating a relationship with that donor, getting to know them. They trust you. You're that really deep connection here. So what does that do long term for a nonprofit when you think about money? Not only are those monthly gifts stacking up, but they will roll into being major givers. Planned givers. Monthly donors are 6 times more likely to leave your organization in their will. And I just saw this last week on a newsletter from Erica Wasdorp, who has published 2 books on monthly giving, which I certainly recommend. She just did a study with an organization that she works with. They have 37,000 monthly donors, and 75% of their legacy gifts came from those monthly givers. So you're talking about gifts that add up and then a relationship that adds up to what can be a really big kind of end reward, and it will, which is
Wow.
fantastic. This is a money-making opportunity. Don't think of it about that. Oh, it's just $10 a month. No, think about what it's going to be over the lifetime of that donor.
And that's what I say so often when I'm doing teaching and training is that we don't all have the huge affluent donors, but when someone makes a $50 or $100 gift, it's wonderful. But to be accessible for the donor, to create consistent revenue for you, it's such a win-win-win because if someone does $10 or $20 a month, you're looking at $120 for the year or $240 for the year. I would be hard pressed to write a check for $250. But if I'm doing 20 bucks a month, I spend more than $20 on a lot of other things that I certainly could spend the money on. So I think that's really powerful. Thank you so much for the research on that. I think that's just fantastic to see that research is coming out and how impactful it is. If you're excited about what Ron is talking about, we're talking to Ron Pruitt, who is the founder and president of For a Good Cause. That's like the number four, a good cause. It's the fundraising CRM that makes monthly giving a breeze for small nonprofits. For more than 25 years, Ron has helped launch fundraising campaigns that have raised millions of dollars for nonprofits across the country. The extensive experience has made Ron an expert in what drives online giving, especially for monthly donations. Ron is passionate, and he's passionate about his wife and kids and his clients' causes. I love that. So I know that many of you probably have seen, I've talked about For a Good Cause before. I definitely have a link on my homepage, lockstep.com. But For a Good Cause is a fundraising CRM. There's lots of them out there, right? But it makes recurring monthly giving a breeze for small nonprofits. So you spend less time planning one-off campaigns and hunting for new donors by using this fundraising platform to help you build a loyal community of recurring monthly givers. So that's the name of the game. Love that. Tell me, I know you and I have talked about this before, but tell me how this came about for you, because you didn't start For a Good Cause to be a monthly giving platform, but definitely has evolved the last couple of years.
Yeah, my journey kind of stepping into the nonprofit world, I think is like a lot of people, you kind of fall into it. I was doing web design for-profit companies. This is many years ago. I got referred to do a couple of websites for the Boys and Girls Clubs of America at their headquarters in downtown Atlanta. And I was like, oh boy, this is fun. I can build sites and solutions that are going to do good things out in the world. Okay, I want more of this. And started building sites for them, and then started building donation forms for them and helping them strategize, raise money. And as the years have gone on, more and more we hear about the struggles, unpredictable revenue, staff stress. Boy, we are in a constant cycle of chasing new donors and unpredictable revenue and the roller coaster of, will all of our funds come in April at the one event and in December at year-end giving, and during the other months we are really struggling. And so that, plus listening to people like Erica Wasdor and others in the industry really talk about recurring giving. And I was like, this is something that we absolutely have to focus on because it's going to help our clients. It's going to help them raise more money, and it's going to help them get the stability that they need. And really the way I approach it is the people that are raising the money, that are working at nonprofits, they're under a tremendous amount of pressure, especially right now. Government grant cuts, predictable economy. I mean, there are so many things that are on their shoulders right now. And if we can provide tools that take a little bit of that stress off to give them a stable floor of income so that they can say, okay, hey, we have this money. We can actually plan. We could budget. We can have time to create relationships and steward donors because we know this stable floor of income is there for our organization. That's the business that we want to be in. And we worked the past few years on really rounding out what we call our monthly giving toolkit. And it's there to help you get more monthly givers, keep them around longer, and upgrade to higher amounts.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Thank you.
So when you talked about the average monthly donor stays with an organization for 8 years, now just mechanically, someone goes in, I know on your site, for a good cause. They go in, they go to make a donation, and then they have an option. Actually, I think it defaults to a monthly donation. So they can either toggle off of it and make $100 donation, or they can set it up so that it's a $10 or $20, $25 a month donation. But that continues until they turn it off, right? And so I get that a question a lot is there an auto renew? Like, do I have to renew people every January or every 12 months? Like, what does that logistically look like?
Yeah, and you really want to think about it in those terms. What I like is simplicity. So if you go to a donation form, I do love if a nonprofit defaults to monthly. That's an option. You have that choice as a nonprofit. I like nonprofits that have sort of a recurring first mindset where you tell your community that this is really the best way that you can support us because it does support us on an ongoing, sustaining basis, gives us that stable income that we need to be able to respond quickly to things in our community and be here all year long for our mission. So I do like if you lead with that. On the form itself, I see this all the time on donation forms outside of For a Good Cause where you'll click recurring and then it'll ask you, okay, what's my frequency? And then you have to think about, well, when do I get paid and all this different things? And then what day of the month? And then I've seen forms that say, when do you want this to end? No,
Don't do that. Don't
don't
do
do
that.
that. Don't do that. We want to keep it simple. Sign up monthly. It's going to happen automatically. You're going to charge today. We're going to set it up same day next month, and it's going to go in perpetuity until you decide as the donor that you wish to cancel. And it's going to be all automated, and they don't have to make a lot of decisions to become a monthly donor.
Now, with your platform, if I remember, donors get a login, right? So they can manage their own philanthropy. So if you start out at 10 and you want to move to 20, or you start at 50 and then, financially things change and you want to bring it back down, or even if you want to print a report for your taxes, that's all available at the donor's control, right?
Yeah, and that's an important part of kind of your tech stack for your monthly giving. Obviously, you want a donation page that emphasizes a monthly gift, makes it easy to enroll. Once that gift is set up, a donor portal where they can make any changes, change an amount, where they can update their payment information. You also want things happening behind the scenes so that automation. You don't want monthly giving to stress out the small nonprofit. You want tools to make it easy. So alerts to the donor, hey, your card's about to expire. You had a payment failure. All things that would lead them into that portal so that they can easily manage that. Most people, 2/3 of consumers would rather handle a problem themselves than have to call somebody. I'm definitely that way.
Amen.
So give them the tools to be able to manage that. You talked about upgrading to higher amounts. That actually is something that is new that we've built and we're starting to see other platforms kind of follow is upgrade links. Something that you can send the donor, whether that's part of an upgrade campaign or maybe you send it to them on their yearly anniversary of giving or something like that. It basically, you go to a page and it says, hey, Ronald, thanks for your ongoing support. Would you like to make a bigger difference? And it'll show, hey, I'm giving it $25 a month. And it'll offer me 30, 35, 50 to upgrade. Click confirm, and then your upgrade.
So that's like an automated email the system can send them on the.
It's a link that's going to recognize them.
Okay.
So you can automate that maybe as part of your regular communications, or it's something I like to do this personally as part of kind of a personal outreach. And then on the acquisition side, if we go back to the donation form, another thing that is working really well, that's really been in the last couple of years, and our clients have used it quite a bit in 2025, and I've seen this across the industry as well, and I'm hoping this is going to be something that's adopted everywhere, is a conversion offer. So I'm a one-time giver. I go to your donation form. I'm going to give $100. I click checkout, click donate, and then it offers me an opportunity to convert that $100 over to, let's say, $20 or $25 a month. And it emphasizes the ongoing support. So in 2025, our platform, that offer converted at a 5% clip. So 5 out of every 100 donors automatically moving over to monthly. So a little math on that I really like is, okay, let's say you had 100 donors giving $100 each. If they all were one time, you've raised $10,000, and that's great. But if you take 5 of those people and they give $25 a month, instead, you're getting an extra $1,500 a month every single month going forward, hopefully for the full 8 years from those donors. So you're raising a lot more on that campaign. So Yeah, there are little tech tools that should be part of your toolkit to help you embrace or offer monthly giving a little better to your donors and then help you manage that going forward. Because I know that is a fear with a lot of small nonprofits. This can't be something that I take on extra. I'm already doing events. I already have a major gift program. I, do corporate giving, but everything that we're talking about really is a complement to that.
Well, and that brings up a really good point. I was just going to ask you is I know when I work with organizations when we're doing a capital campaign or we're doing legacy giving, right? There's this fear that one area will cannibalize the other. So do you see or what trends do you see when someone becomes a monthly donor? They're like, okay, I'm giving every month, so now I'm not going to buy a ticket to the fundraiser or I'm not going to do this or that. I mean, I know that's not true, but I want you to tell me
It's not true.
tell me what you
It's not true. Yeah, these people give again. They will give at year end. They will come to your events. I forget the stat. I could follow up with it. You can put it in the show
thank
notes.
you.
But there is a stat about year end giving that I think it's like a third of monthly donors will give again at year end. Because what if they've established by giving every single month that they really believe in what you're doing. They are your true believers. They are your most loyal fans. Why wouldn't they come to an event? Why wouldn't they give again at year end? Now, do you need to segment those folks and have a little bit of different communication to them? Let's say a year-end email goes out. You might want to segment maybe the first little bit of that email that says, "Hey, Ronald, thanks for being an ongoing monthly supporter," and then talk about the opportunity to give now and why that's important.
Are you seeing nonprofits? Are you seeing your clients have a monthly donor program and then still asking their monthly donors to participate in campaigns? Are they
I
doing
get
that more than
asked.
once a year? Are they just saving for end of year? Or are you seeing that throughout the year?
Throughout the year, yeah, I give monthly to, I don't know, 15 organizations or so. Yeah, I get those solicitations all the
Okay.
time. And if the need is right, I'm happy to give. Again, this could be a complement to everything else that you're doing. Let's say you do events. Well, you could still get that ticket revenue. You could still get that sponsorship revenue. But wouldn't it be great if you could follow up with the attendees and say, you made a great one-time impact. Your donation is already being put to work. Would you like that impact to go all year long or on an ongoing basis? Well, we'd love to invite you to join our monthly giving program.
And
Or
have
if
you
you,
seen conversion from that?
yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You talked about your monthly giving toolkit. Is some of that language that nonprofits, is some of that language in there?
Not specifically in there, but I have done webinars specifically
Okay.
on the concept of conversion, one time to monthly. I just did one late last year about year-end donors.
Okay. Yeah, we can share the
And
link with that. That'd be great.
yeah, it's really about walking them through, and you can change the method of how you communicate. I kind of talked about email, but it could be direct mail, phone calls, whatever it is. It's a simple little thank you. Here's the impact you've already made. Here's a testimonial from somebody else who's given monthly so that you're part of a larger community, and then an invitation to join the program. And it's really simple like that. You could set up a conversion series all year long with that. And I see a lot of nonprofits do this. I think it's a great strategy. You certainly can be recurring first and lead with monthly giving as the first thing that you want donors to do. But for those that don't, those that choose one time, or maybe you have campaigns that are more one-time oriented, like an event or something like that, you can use kind of a conversion techniques and strategies and language to move them into monthly because they have indicated that they do support you. And one thing that nonprofits don't often think about is the best time to do that is in the first 30 days after they give. While they're still thinking about you, you just got that gift that says, "Ooh, they love us."
So are you saying that if someone gives one time, that not at an event, but if they make a donation, that you would suggest that you send a thank you and then probably separately then send them an invitation to join the monthly giving program?
Yeah, in a
Okay.
series that they understand that they are thanked and welcomed, that that one-time donation has made an immediate impact and what that is, and that hey, there's a community. We've built a community of like-minded people that are just like you. And here's a testimonial from someone. And then, you would be a great candidate to join this if you would like that impact you made to sustain itself all year long. Here's why that makes an impact. So,
Well, and I think one of the things I want to ask you about is who do you think are the best prospects for a monthly donors? Often when I work with nonprofits, they have their donors. They sort of have all the different buckets, right? There's the ticket
mhm.
purchasers and the concert attendee. There's the board members. There's the volunteers. There's the donors. There's the person that come, people that come to the auction. It's just a matter of technology and process. A lot of times those lists are not the same lists, right? And one of the things that I often will say is that your smaller donors, even individuals that are in minority communities, younger individuals, that this is a great access point to bring those people in and allow them to give something that is meaningful that where they can't write a check for $250. I talk a lot about younger folks or volunteers, people, event attendees, people that are a little more ancillary to you. Have you seen specific groups of people, or how do you think nonprofits should go about identifying who to invite to the club?
Yeah, and I like everything that you're talking about. All the folks that you talked about there are great candidates. I'm kind of hearing like budget friendly people that would
Yeah.
that would need kind of a budget friendly giving option. I think that works as well. One of the things that I talk about a lot when you're just starting your monthly giving program is that you're not going to just blast out your offer to everyone. You need to find your founders, your initial people, the folks that will become your ambassadors, the first people to give to your monthly giving program. And oftentimes you're looking in your database for those people and you're looking for, like you say, small donors. But you might say, okay, who out of these small donors has given multiple times this year? Like they give a little bit almost every time I send an ask. That's a great candidate. Great candidates are people who, when you ask, they say yes. Those are volunteers. Those are board members. Those are great people that if you can get them into the program early, they become those founders and ambassadors for you. You'll want to get testimonials from them, obviously, as early in their giving, because that's going to be marketing fodder for you as you grow your program. So to me, it's the folks that give often, show up to your events often. It's the people that you see all the time, regardless of what income level they are at.
I've been working with a number of organizations to convert their in-kind donors. I've worked with,
Ooh.
I finished a $8.5 million capital campaign for a shelter, and you still have those donors, particularly in the church community, who come, they bring the diapers. You put out a
Mhm.
post that we're out of diapers or wipes, and they show up with a car full, or they show up with sweatshirts for, or teddy bears for the kids, right? There's people who love that going out and doing it. And
Yeah.
that's, I think, so often their first touch with the organization is I know how to go make a basket for a senior. I know how to go buy school supplies and fill a backpack, right? So that's something tangible that they can do. And I think I've often argued that it's just one next step for you to invite them to a monthly giving program where maybe they already went out and spent $50 on a gift basket for necessities for a senior. And now you
Mhm.
want to ask them for $20 or $25 a month to be a monthly donor. I think that's an amazing conversion. I think one of the obstacles is that technology piece, right? How do you do
Mhm.
that?
I love that idea. I love that because you're just looking for signs of loyalty. And boy, if I see the same person dropping off diapers every month or every time I ask, that's a person I want as a monthly donor. That's a person I want to have a conversation with.
Right.
Why? What motivates you to do this every month? If you can have those conversations before you start a monthly giving program,
Yeah.
that's a great opportunity. Why do you give? That person who gives often or gives one time, why? Why did you do that? What motivated you to do that? And you can ask them, if we had a monthly giving program, what would motivate you to be in that program? How often would you want to hear from us? And what types of things would you want to hear from us? Those kind of initial conversations up front before you launch this type of program can be incredibly valuable.
That's awesome. Well, as we sort of wrap up our conversation, I would be remiss if we didn't talk a little bit about For Good Cause. For your platform, tell me a little bit about, we talked a little bit, but tell me how the platform differs from other platforms and a little bit about the integrations, things like that. Because that's the other question I get a lot is what's a good platform? Is it easy to use? Are there automations? Does it going to work with QuickBooks? Things like that. Because we all have too many subscriptions to too many services. So talk a little bit about the platform and how that works to get into it and get started.
Yeah. So in general, we are a fundraising CRM that specializes in recurring monthly donations. And I think how we differentiate ourselves really around the core principles that we have here. So the first one is simplicity. Our clients rate us incredibly easy to use. So we do lean hard into simplicity, both for the nonprofit staff and donors. So on the front end, our goal is to make it really easy for donors to give you money. So that is, taking the 25 plus years that I've been doing this and building best practices into all those pages. And you have the ability to do really any type of fundraising campaign on that side with us, from taking donations, one time and monthly, event registration, crowdfunding, peer-to-peer fundraising. You can do any type of online fundraising with us, but in general, you are going to be presenting your donor with an easy path to making a gift, managing that gift with a lot of automation that helps you take care of them. And on the back end, really simple reporting. In my onboarding, I say, as you can see, there is nothing complicated about this. So we find that our clients tell us that we are easier than other platforms. The second big thing is affordability. So we are typically a better affordability choice for a small nonprofit, which is typically the nonprofits that we work with, the small grassroots nonprofits across the country that are raising money kind of locally in their community, the local animal shelter, the Big Brothers Big Sisters chapter, those types of nonprofits. And then thirdly, the kind of the way we go about working with our clients. There are a lot of faceless platforms out there that you have to pay extra to even get a real person on the phone. We are a partnership, not just a platform. If you want them, I do quarterly strategy sessions just to talk fundraising with our clients. You call, we'll pick up the phone. I mean, we do things differently, and our clients rate us 5 stars there. And I think if you're looking for a different experience, to have a real human that understands fundraising and wants to help you with that, then that's the choice for us. Do we have all the tools, all the integrations? We can integrate with over 6,000 different things. Yes. All the tech tools that you need for monthly giving, a simple CRM on the back end. Do we have all that? Absolutely. But a lot of times our clients are choosing us because we have easy software. It's easy to afford, and we're easy to work with.
I know we had this conversation before. You integrate with QuickBooks. You integrate with MailChimp or Constant Contact, or both?
Directly with MailChimp, Zapier, Constant Contact, and things like QuickBooks and 6,000 other things. Yes.
What about Little Green Light?
Yeah, through Zapier, we can
Okay.
integrate with virtually any other nonprofit CRM that's out there.
That's pretty easy to set up, or that's something that you can help them set up, is that Zapier. And that's a one-way push, right?
Yeah, it's
the
basically
information from For Good Cause goes to Little Green Light or another platform that has a more robust CRM on the back.
Yeah, you think about it like Grand Central Station, and you've connected the train tracks between For a Good Cause and something else that you use. It's interesting. We have clients that use us as an all-in-one CRM plus fundraising tools. And then we have clients that maybe have something like Little Green Light that see, oh, well, that's a good CRM, but the fundraising tools are lacking. And boy, I wish I had the monthly giving toolkit and those great donation forms and all of that good stuff. So they might pair us with a CRM that they're using. We're pretty agnostic in that way. We can work with you, or you can use us all in one, which is another big differentiator for us that I should mention is on the payment side. And I've come across this lately, being on LinkedIn a lot. I've seen a lot of things come across my feed about how nonprofits are getting stuck. They can't take their monthly givers with them when they need to change platforms. They get locked into payment processing that they have no control over the rates of. One of the big things that we do here is you own your data. You can take it with you. You own your recurring giving credit card tokens. We're the only platform I know that stores that in the payment processing, so you can take that with you. And that's a big aspect of monthly giving is if you're going to set up this program, you got to ask the question, if I ever need to switch platforms, can I? And will my giving be interrupted?
So when you say payment token, that is the information about someone's credit card and such?
That's right. That's their
Okay.
name, their actual credit card information that's encrypted, but it's that token of that card and then the schedule to charge that card.
Okay.
Yeah, we're the only platform that puts that into the payment processing. That's something you own that you can take with you if you ever have had to leave us. George Weiner of Whole Whale Consulting did a study, and 25% of nonprofit platforms currently will not even allow you to take your monthly givers with you at all. Not that they won't cooperate in a migration. They will not let you take it at all. So it's another big aspect of monthly giving that we're starting to see, and something that nonprofits need to be aware of and asking their platforms.
One of the objections, right, that I could hear is storage of data and who owns the data. I think you alluded to it a little bit before in terms of one objection or concern about doing monthly giving would be you're not getting the $100 check right now. You're getting, and things are scary and in crisis, but you're getting a $10 check, right? What are some of the objections or concerns that you hear from nonprofits when they're thinking about starting a monthly giving program?
Really, a couple things. So you mentioned the cannibalization before, how they think it's going to hurt the other things that they're doing when it really is a compliment. And then the fear, really, that I don't know what to do. I don't know how to approach this. I don't know how to ask for a recurring gift. I do have some fear that I'm asking too often, or I'm asking for too big of a commitment that, oh, this is every single month. But in reality, you're asking for a lower commitment. You're asking them to give you something that's budget friendly for them, that fits their lifestyle. They're already paying Netflix. They're already got Spotify. Right. They've been trained over the last year that this is how they're going to pay for things. If you do approach it that way, that it is a community, that it is, there's a social aspect to this. A lot of nonprofits, if you're smart, if you have a monthly giving program, from time to time, you are having small little events, whether it's on Zoom or a behind the scenes tour, where you bring these people together, and you'll find that they become friends with you and they become friends with each other. So when you think about invitation, if there was an exclusive little club that you had and you had a best friend and you didn't ask that best friend to join this club, how would they feel? How would they feel? Think of it like that. Don't think of it like an ask. Think of it, we've got this cool thing and you're cool and I want you to be part of it. You're cool. You get to be cool if you're in our club.
Thank you so much. This has been so much better than I could even imagine. I think there's so many great gems in here for organizations to take away. Monthly giving, that's where it's at. That's the next phase of giving. It's accessible. It speaks to people. It allows people to join your party. It provides the organization with consistent, reliable, critical income, and everybody wins, right? All right, friends. That's the takeaway. Monthly giving isn't just convenient, it's stability. It's how you stop living month to month, build predictable revenue, and create a community of loyal supporters who stick with you for the long haul. So here's your next move. Make monthly giving easy to say yes to. Take 5 minutes today to look at your donation page. Does it clearly offer a monthly option? Is it simple? Then invite your always show up people, your repeat donors, your volunteers, event attendees to become founding monthly donors. Don't overthink it. Just invite them to your club. And if you want a platform built to take monthly giving, make your monthly giving simple with automations, donor self-management, tools that reduce staff stress, check out For a Good Cause. There's lots of great platforms out there. For a Good Cause is one that I recommend. If you use my link in the show notes, they'll give you a free month when you sign up. For more practical resources, templates, and real talk fundraising, head to lockstep.com. That's LOCKESTEP.com. Thanks for listening to Fundraising Unfiltered. We put the fun in fundraising. See you next time.